Hi everyone, I'm Shauna and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm doing a get ready with me for fall. I have a couple of things I want to play with today. The first being the Nars palette. I've been using this, but I keep just putting it back in the box. So I really want to play with the green shades today. Beautiful. Yeah, so we're going to be playing with this palette today. The green shades, I was gonna say mostly, but the green shades exclusively, we're gonna do a green look. I mean, I have a green sweater on today, so we're gonna be very green. I also, where did I put it? Hold on. I also bought the Fenty foundation. We're gonna be using this today. I bought this because I needed a medium to full coverage foundation in a shade that matches me right now for when I'm like, basically any occasion where I'm going out and not filming. I did not have such a product. So those are going to be like the two new products or highlighted products that I'm going to be talking about today. And just about everything else are going to be things that you've probably seen in a makeup basket around here before, if you watch the channel. If not, you're still in for a treat and for some fun, I think anyways. So I'm going to start with my Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. I've worn this quite a bit and I talked about it in my recent Project Pan update. Well, this is about as much as I need and this is really lovely. This surprised the absolute heck out of me. And when I'm putting it on, it feels very moisturizing, like literally like I'm putting on a moisturizer. My skin is feeling just a little dry today. But when you let this sink in for literally just a couple of seconds, it has a bit of a dry down, which is really nice. I'm a little dry right in here. I can feel it. I'm not doing anything today or after this video. I'm filming another one, but sometimes I get nervous when I'm playing with new colors or an eyeshadow look that's not proven. I get nervous about it. So just, it's gonna be me tonight and probably pop some popcorn and watch a video. I'm not quite sure yet. So this is like a low risk kind of scenario, but you'll see this eye look likely in another video. So can we see a close up of the skin? It's like, has a little tack to it. It's not matte, but it's also not dewy. It's, I think, a really good texture to get foundation to stick to your skin. Time for the foundation. I personally think that this is a great color match. It's in the shade 150, which I'm pretty sure is a neutral shade. And that's what it looks like on the hand. You'll see it on the face in just a second. Now, just look at this. Look at where I put the foundation and look at my neck. I think it's an absolutely fabulous shade match. So here we are. We've done the layer. Looking a little strange without my concealer. Typically right here is the area that will show, and like right here too, if I don't have as much coverage. And so this is feeling like a high medium coverage. I could probably build in more layers to get slightly better. Like you can see right here and then right here. But I don't always want to push my foundation that far, and I'm okay with the way that it looks right now. This is not like just on its own, it's not perfectly matte. Again, everything kind of needs to be set with me, but we're gonna go with the concealer first before we set the face. Give it a second to sink in, and we're gonna go with my current fave, the MAC concealer. Okay, so I'm gonna give them a quick powder and then I will be back to hit up the complexion, the bronzer, blush, highlight, those kinds of things. All right, so for the powder all over my face and on my eyes, I used the Glossier powder in G11 to G12, and then just on my face to add a little bit more mattification, I used the CoverGirl Clean Matte powder. Onto blush bronzer. I have a lot of really beautiful shades in my makeup bag this month, especially the Patrick Ta. I've been actually wearing that quite a bit, but because I think today's eye look is going to be a little bit bold, I'm gonna use Mocha, and it's cool tone and should match similar tone of the eyeshadow. But we're gonna go with bronzer first, and we're gonna go into my Hourglass palette. This is in a Project Pan. I showed this in the Project Pan update, but like, look at those pans. So we're gonna go into the bronzer. I think that's good for bronzer. I'm actually gonna save the blush and highlight for last because I want to see what the eyeshadows look like before I do that. I think that's gonna be the move. But I'm going to do my eyebrows, you know, have the base of the look. I've still been really loving the Merit eyebrow gel, I'm using it a lot, but I'm so close on my Anastasia gel, so I'm gonna use that. Honestly, I think it'll just be one more week and it should be gone. At least that's what I'm hoping. So we're gonna use that today. We've got a little before and action going on there. To the other side. There's basically no color payoff. It's like really hard to get actual color, especially right up at like the top of my brow here. I think that's the best it's gonna get. It's honestly taking me almost 10 minutes to do my brows every time I do them because the product is just not cooperating. I mean, it looks okay. I don't mind the way that it looks. I think it looks nice, but I don't want to have to work so hard to get it to work, which is just that the product is running low. Now let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the eyeshadow look. So I'm pretty sure we're just gonna do like the two greens here. We're gonna use this one like on the crease and then probably in the outer corner, and then we'll use this one all over the lid. So let's get into it. Just gonna like, oh, not a lot of, okay, here we go. I think I grabbed too much product. I think the camera is making it look a little bit patchy where it's not in person. I can't say it's a little bit difficult to blend, and I'm not having the same experience with some of the other shades, but let's go in on this side. I think just look at how it put down the color. I'm gonna switch up the brush. This is not really blending well. I think I know what the problem is. I think the green genuinely needs a color to build off of. And so I think starting with this color right here would have been a better idea. I'm just gonna go into it now and see if we can make any magic happen. Okay, that was way better, and I really think that the green would blend significantly better if I put that like peachy shade on top and then blended the green over it. That's my mistake and not necessarily the palette. I think that it's just looking, I think it's looking better. Now let's play with the green, the shimmer green. I'm just gonna take a brush. Oh, yummy. Look at that, oh my gosh. I'm just gonna use my finger. I suspected that this would look better with the finger, but I wanted to see how it would look with the brush. What bold looks you got? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish the other eye in the exact same way I did this one. And then I'm gonna just put on my mascara and I'll show you what it looks like. But I honestly think I need to come back here on a day 2, recreate the whole look again, but with a better base, because this is just, the base is looking really muddy and it's not supporting the look in the way that I feel like it could and should. So that's user error and not the palette. So I'll be back. Before we actually do mascara, I'm gonna do the blush and the highlight. So I'm gonna stick with Mocha. And then the highlight. We're gonna be using Double Gleam by MAC. Okay folks, the whole look is completed. I think it looks nice. But let me just close my eyes for a little bit. Right in here, the shadow has lifted off, and it also rubbed away the concealer, like almost rubbed the eye raw because I was blending so vigorously. So I think the look looks really beautiful and I'm kind of feeling it, but also wasn't the look that I was trying to go for. I was going for something just a little bit softer, and I think I wouldn't have gone in so hard on the shimmer had the outer crease base color been a little bit softer. So I'm gonna come back here in a couple of days and I'm gonna come back with the base on, and then we're gonna try a round or a version 2 of the eyeshadow look. But I'm gonna be very curious to hear how you kind of think about the 2 eyeshadow looks and how they compare. So, and hopefully we'll be able to compare. So I'll be back right now really for you, but in a couple of days for me. All right, I'm back. It's another day. Actually, it's a lot more time has passed than I suspected. So I put the palette back in the box. So I'm gonna try another look. Well, I'm gonna try that same look again, but we're gonna put in some crease colors and hopefully get a smoother blend. So just for reference, what's on my face is almost the same as last time. The only difference is that I'm wearing a Cosmetics CC cream as my base. I have the same powder, same concealer, my MAC blush, my Hourglass bronzer, my ABH brows. It's all the same, just a different foundation. I'm first gonna go in with this shade right here. It is like a cool toned, like peachy color beigey color. I'm going to put this all up in my crease. I have my mirror, or I guess I don't need that because I have a compact with a clean mirror. How often does that happen? So this particular color, I'm just picking up a little bit more, is just slightly darker than my skin tone. And it also, when I blend it out, can you see? It has like some purpley undertones to it. I'm just bringing it down a bit and then all the way up. I want there to be a lot of shadow for the greens to cling on to, essentially. I also apologize if you hear any noise. The homeowners are selling their home and there is no such thing as a quiet time here these days. I have been like trying to wait to film, and 9 a.m., 8 p.m, there's just noise all the time, and open houses and things like that. So I apologize if you're hearing noise. But I've now just gone in to do the same thing with this side. Okay, so I have a really good base, at least for my liking. And now I'm trying to find a good brush for this green. So I'm actually gonna use this brush. It is just like slightly smaller than the brush I did use. I'm pretty sure if I remember I used this one before. This is actually like, it's a really old Morphe brush and it is actually like really pokey. This one is much more soft. So I'm just going to ever so slightly dip into the green like that. It's time for the green, baby. This is a clean brush. Okay, well, let's even it out with the other side. Okay, so this side blended easier. Okay, look at the green on my hand and then look at it when I swatch it. Does that not look gray now? All right, let's now go in with that green shimmer. This is what we're all here for anyways. So I'm gonna even it out on this side. Okay, so I think this side looks a little bit better, simply because I pulled up that green shade a lot higher on this side than I did over on this side. So okay, let me just close my eyes. This is totally a smoky look, like definitely not a daytime look by any means. Part of me was wondering if there was a way to soften it like at all, but I would say no. The only thing I could think of would be on top of this green, like putting some gold maybe on top. But I do like the way, I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder, sorry. So I do actually like the way that this looks. That green is much less scary when you actually have the green eyeshadow on top, like that matte green. I do believe like I pulled up the matte green too far. I think it would look a little bit better if it was farther down, so then you could have that like peachy color to come on top, which was the intention, but I just pulled the green up, the matte green, too far. So I'm gonna go finish up the mascara and put on some lips and I'll be back. All right, so this is the final look. Just what I did, I used my L'Oreal Infallible liner for the waterline. One of the comments I mentioned when I tried on this look previously was that the pink was a little too stark. I think the nudie color works better, a little bit more subtle. I also put on some lip products. I used my Ofra lip liner in Silk, and then I used the MAC Modesty as the base color, and then I put Sugar on top. Now that I've had just like a little time to sit in it and the full look is complete, I really like it. This is different for me. I said that last time. And here's what I'm going to say about this palette. This is like, yes, there's a review component here. This is also me trying out the palette, like a get ready with me, having some fun. I don't think it's too late to get this palette if you wanted it, but what I'm trying to do here is not necessarily say you should or shouldn't get it. I'm just playing around, and hopefully if you were interested in the palette, this can give you some indication if it would be good for you. So my comments about the look I did are this. I have very little experience with green eyeshadow. I have only ever used one other green eyeshadow other than today, and it's a shimmer shade. It's from ColourPop. I have never used a matte green before, so I don't know if this color, this texture, this blendability is pretty typical for greens. My understanding is that greens like purples can be difficult to formulate. So I feel as though the green in here is not indicative of the other colors and the blendability of the other mattes in this palette. Everything else is much easier to blend, and I have used all of the matte shades at this point. So I think that the green is a little bit tough to blend, as you saw, but the final look is great. All the shimmers are beautiful. The only shimmer I haven't tried is the blue, which is gonna come, and I'm kind of excited about it. And so what I love about this palette is that I have two, this one and this one shadow looks I could just kind of go in and, you know, do. I think what could also be good for this look, or the green, would be to put these two in the crease, this guy just like in the outer V, and then this is the shade on the lid. I think that would look really nice too. It's like another way to play with the green, but I really wanted to try my hand at just like an exclusively all green look, because I don't think it's a stretch to say that somebody getting this palette would want to produce an all green look. So with that said, I showed you what I think is the worst shade in the palette, and if you buy a palette, you have to, at least my opinion is, if you buy a palette, then I want to be able to use all of the colors. And even this, like this guy right here, I have it here, I have no problem using a shimmer on the crease. Let me just swatch that. Beautiful. It's like a purpley taupe, which really goes in, sorry, purpley gunmetal color. That really goes well with the other shades in the palette, and I have no problem using a color like that in the outer V or the crease. So I have tried every shade in this palette, except for the blue. So this palette for me is just like, it's so simple. It's 9 pans, and it allows me to do like the gradient of look that I could do is so big with this. Or I guess what I mean to say is how I can have those really safe glittery one shadow looks and then have something that's super outside of my comfort zone in one small palette. Am I going to keep this palette? Yes. Do I recommend this palette? My caveat would be, if this green is not for you, the blendability is too difficult, then don't get it. Other than that, this is a shade I feel like I have to work with, and so I'm okay doing that because it's like the only green that I have, and also like the only shadow that I can recall where I'm like, yeah, I have to work with that in like every shade of every palette that I own. And this color story is just so beautiful and so unique that I can justify that, or I'm okay with it. So that's the look, that's the video. My hair is still just a little wet, so it's just kind of as it is, but that's the look. This look, it just grows on me more and more as I like wear it, and Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think about the look that I created? But also love to hear your thoughts if you have more experience with green eyeshadows. How do you think about this performance? Or do you have other tips for me on how to use that particular shade? Because that's just what I don't have experience with. So I welcome all of your comments, all of your ideas, and thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you again around here soon. Bye.